Oh, it's afternoon.
Good afternoon. For us afternoon shifters, it's morning. I had notes, but I accidentally grabbed a Chase Bank statement instead, so.
We'll take that.
You got this. You got this. Yeah.
Kathy, am I the first man to talk at one of these?
Well, this is only our second one, so yes.
No pressure there, I'll tell you. I better do a good job or I'll be the last. I am blown away by this. I just, you know, to see you girls here, you guys could be anywhere today. You guys could be at a football game, you could be with your husbands, you could be with your boyfriends, you could be with your children, and you're here. And that might not mean something to you really as much as it means to me, because I'm not used to that. I'm not used to seeing that. I work at Ford Motor Company, and wait a minute, I'm gonna get emotional. I work at the Ford Motor Company, and part of my job was to help people. And I'm sorry.
You got this, Jimmy.
Yep, you got
Take a
it.
deep breath.
Yeah, it's just kind of emotional just to think about it. One of my jobs was to help people, and I had women come into my office with black eyes. I had women come into my office with busted teeth. I had women come out into my office with letters of foreclosure, intent to foreclose, you know, things like that. And I had such a dark cloud hanging over my head that I tried to seek out God. I couldn't find God. I tried many, many churches, and I failed. I failed. And one of the reasons why I failed was because of so many people that I thought walked the walk and talked the talk, but all they did was talk the talk. And over a 10-year period, I tried different churches, and I couldn't find them. I sought them out. And that's where a friend of mine from high school stepped in, a former classmate. And if you think that what you put on Facebook or on social media doesn't matter, think again, because there were 6 words that changed my life forever. And those 6 words were, just another woman at the well. Just another woman at the well. And I saw that, you know, that little caption that you can put on the top of your Facebook. And I saw that it was December 31st, 2017, 2016. And I never forgot that. And I looked at that, and I read it, and I read it again, and I read it again, and I thought, this woman is a humble woman. And I'm not used to a humble woman. I'm used to women in the plans. You know, I've been called every name in the book. You name it, I've been called names I've never even heard of. And so when I stand before all you women, this is tough. This is one of the easiest things I've done, and yet it's one of the toughest things I've done, because I'm not used to women like you. You get that? And, you know, walking in here and grabbing a Chase Bank statement doesn't help. But the minute I walked in the front doors, you know, I'm like, okay, now I'm panicking. I'm gonna blow this. But anyway, after 10 years of failed attempts at joining churches and being around people that talked the talk, but they didn't walk the walk, that friend of mine invited me to Northridge Church. And, man, I'm gonna keep it together now. She walked me in the front doors, and I immediately knew that these people were for real. Just like I'm standing here. I know all of you are for real, because you wouldn't be here. You don't get up at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday to come do this unless you really mean it. And she walked me in the front doors, and my life changed forever. I mean, it's a cliche, but my life changed forever. I owe her everything. And in a few minutes, I'll tell you who it is. But you ladies have meant the world to me. And I'm probably your biggest fan. I'm your biggest supporter. I'm on the outside looking in. I see it on Facebook. I'm just at awe of what you're doing, every one of you. And so once I walked into those doors in April of 2017, 2 months later, don't you make me cry. 2017 of April, I walked in the doors. June 25th, I was so convinced that this is the real deal, that on June 25th of 2017, I went into the water, and I came out of the water a baptized Christian. 20 days after I became baptized, I was severely injured at work. I was like, what the heck was that all about? But I'm not going to get into that too deep. I was told by people that really know that I was taken out of the mix. God protected me, and he took me out. I have a couple of dangerous hobbies. I was not able to do those hobbies, and there was a reason why I was injured at work. He just didn't want me out and about, whatever. But then that summer, I joined Starting Point. And that was really the pivotal moment where my life changed, because not only did I meet some pretty doggone wonderful people and mentors, but I got to see firsthand what it was like to be in a Christian relationship. And man, I wanted me some of that. They were just so loving. It was different. It was different. Jerry, you and Tom, Kathy, you and Mike, Denise Wilkie, you have one of the finest families I have ever known. Your daughters, last weekend, one daughter won a bodybuilding competition. The next day, her other daughter ran a marathon. You know, Denise, if everybody was like your two girls, I'd have been out of a job. So, after Starting Point, I went to Sunday night groups. And after Sunday night groups, I joined the Rooted thingy, and I just got done with that just recently. So in a 2-year period, look at what all I've done. And all those 10 years, I couldn't do all that, but I met all of you. And it changed my life forever. I mean, I am on fire for Jesus Christ. I have a shop, I build things. I build fun. And it's pretty difficult, and there's times when I don't have a clue what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it. God moves these hands. I don't do it. I'm not smart enough to do all that. God moves my hands. And I give him all the credit for everything. This is the tough part. Well, I want to say to all you ladies, all you young ladies, you 20s and 30s, your leaders and your co-leaders are a valuable asset to you. They are a tool to use as you continue on through this. Because they are some of the finest women I have ever known. Use them. If you have a life question, if you have a life issue, talk to them about it. Pull them aside. It'll be confidential, whatever. But these women have lived. These women have been married. These women have been divorced. They might even tell you who and who not to marry. Could I say that?
Yes.
But truly, I'm repeating myself, but they are truly the finest, some of the finest people I've ever known in my life. Jerry Porter Clay, you are a gracious woman.
Amen.
I love you to death. And I thank you for being my friend. Now, there's about 6 or 7 of you that probably might want to get your tissues out. And this is really one of the bigger reasons why I came here, is because I had to personally and publicly thank the women that have led me to where I'm at today. And I challenged myself. I was sitting in my office and I says, okay, look, write down all the people, all the names that were responsible for your journey. And I mean, if you all really did that, it would be like, it'd be kind of tough. It was like, wow. So I had about 15 or 20 names, and I challenged myself. I said, no, you can do better than that. So I wrote down the top 10 of who really walked me to Jesus Christ. I bet you guys think I'm a total wimp. I'm not. Nothing like this out in the street.
We try to.
And by the way, if I go over 15 minutes, Kathy and I have a deal that it's going to cost me $25 a minute.
No, you're paying for retreat next year. Go ahead.
I got that.
Or new pedal board.
Yeah, keep going.
So, how many women are in this room right now? 70? Man, try that out next time. But there was about 7 women. One of them got sick and left today. I don't know if she was just afraid I was going to call her up here. So as I call your name, I wish you could all stand here and see this. I got to get a picture of this. Please, please do, please do. I'm not going to call you up here. Debbie. Stacy. But I am going to publicly tell this room what you've done for me. My woman at the well, the one that changed my life forever, was 6 words, is Deborah Vitale. Deborah, where would I be without you today? I wouldn't have Jesus. I wouldn't have all of you. I wouldn't be here. You reached down and single-handedly pulled me out of the ditch that runs alongside the highway of life. And you saved my life. I never told you that, but you saved my life. At one point, I really didn't care if I lived or not. I sat in the starting point and I dropped a bomb. I'm not a felon. I'm not a criminal. But I am powerless against this life. And that was something that big, strong me, I just wouldn't accept that until I went to starting point and I had to give my testimony to basically, 10 or 12 strangers that I'd only met for a few weeks. Man, is that tough. And I did it with a pretty straight face. I just kept on rambling. I'm a talker. I'm a rambler. There's a few in this room that know. I'll talk your head off and I'll follow to your car until they say, I gotta go. But Deborah, God bless you. I have waited for this moment for months and months to thank you publicly for what you've done for me. I can't find the words right now. But thank you. God bless you, and I pray for you every day. And it is all God. There's a reason why for everything. Did I say thank you? I walked into the church, and within 2 minutes, I knew I was home. How did I know that? Because this tiny little itty-bitty blonde woman came up to me and gave me a hug. I thought I got hugged by a Green Bay Packer. I said, this chick is strong. She must do CrossFit or something. Man, Kathy, I speak for everybody in this room. You are so loved. You have given me the biggest gift. Your generosity, your loving, your caring attitude. You gave me Jesus. That starting point, and you challenged me. You challenged me to more things. Where would I be without you too? Jerry Van Eyck. You and Tom. When I dropped that bomb at starting point, from day one, you've been my friend. You never judged me. You never judged me. Kathy, you never judged me. I love the both of you. You have been a true gift. A true gift. Rhonda Hopper's not here.
She is.
Rhonda Hopper. Is this the magic of Facebook or FaceTime?
FaceTime.
Rhonda Hopper, when I got hurt, you held me accountable. You challenged me. You wouldn't let me sit on my butt and feel sorry for myself. You dragged me to the gym. You made sure that I rehabbed that leg that shakes when it gets nervous. I love you. And God bless you, Rhonda. You know what? You have been a wealth of knowledge. When I sat with you in groups and I found out your biblical history, you're an incredible lady. And I know you've had your trials and your tribulations, but you are an incredible lady. God bless you. Thank you.
Love you.
Was that number 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in Starting Point, I walked into two very young couples. That was Jenna Cheatwood and Drew. Magic Milo. And Christine Zagunas and Jimmy. These were young couples, and they were just on fire for Christ. You two, you amazed me from day one. I mean, here's these young girls that, they could be anywhere, they could be doing anything, but they were in Starting Point trying to, solidify their faith with their spouses. Man, what planet am I on? Where did I land? And Christine, I know what you prayed for. I very reluctantly, I couldn't be here this morning when you talked. I think you talked. Did you get through it?
I did.
Because I knew what you prayed for. And at the baptism this summer, I stood there when Jimmy went into the water. And I held my breath. And when he came out of that water, I about fell to my knees. I knew at that moment that God answers our prayers. Bless you. Jenna, bless you. You've been so kind to me. I love little Grace. One day me and Grace are going to sit down at the keys and drive you nuts. So Christine and Jenna, God bless to both of you. God bless your marriages. Thank you for the gift that you gave me at Starting Point, okay? I love you. I pray for you guys daily. All right. This one's tough. But I'm going to do it because I've done it so far. So the next, I call her my friend. Of course I do. She's my friend. I love her deeply because of the gift that she's given me. She's a professional. She's got a tough job. She gets to look at the faces of patients every day that are desperately looking for some good news from their doctors. And sometimes that good news never comes. But yet she comes into the church every Sunday, almost every Sunday, with a smile on her face, wearing her faith on her sleeve. Her faith just resonates. And it resonates over to me. Stacy Weedike, you make me want to be a better man. You are truly one of the most humble women I have ever met in my life. I know you give it all to God because she takes no credit for anything. She just passed one of the biggest tests she could have ever taken in her adult life. And we were all collectively praying for Stacy to pass that test because there was something definitely on the line. I was about to lose my church buddy. This woman sits with me at Christmas. She sits with me at Easter. She sits with me on Sundays. God bless her. Because I could never find the words to express what a gift you've been. And I pray for you daily, Stacy. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So, That's kind of it. Did I go over 15 minutes? So, I apologize earlier for the moment of panic that I had, but, you know, when you walk in with a bank statement instead of your notes, it's like, okay, I'm in deep doo-doo here. I'm gonna look like a moron, but I do wanna say this to you all. Before that, Kelly, Kristen, Stacy, Missy, I've watched you guys in your faith, all of you. And I've watched you three, Kelly, Kristen, and Missy. I've watched you from the beginning almost, and God bless you. You know, you're serving your church. You're doing good stuff. And I just wanted to thank you publicly for that. Missy, I know your struggles, and I pray for you daily. But what I want to tell you all, and I'm going to get out of here now, is if there's anybody out there that ever makes you feel like you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not thin enough, would you please think back to this day? When I stood before you and told you just how wonderful I really think you all are. And how much joy you've given me, and you've given me back my heart. All of you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm a big supporter of this, and I will continue to support this. Because you're proving to me right now on a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, that this is where you want to be. You want to be with Jesus Christ. So, that's it. Thank you.